Question to ponder. Would the outcome have been the same if the Paramores had been Democrats instead of two Tea Party conservatives? Let's be honest, to many there is nothing more delicious than a big plate of hypocrisy. But was the process fair or too hasty? Flashpoint.
I was a leader there for a number of years. It's to the institution. And the institution is what suffered the most during this entire debacle. And
hard to argue that.
You know, I think that on a personal basis, these two had their own issues that they needed to work out. But it became a public forum that was a mockery and embarrassed the state, embarrassed the legislature, the body in which I served. And I just hope that it's all behind us.
It was over pretty quickly.
A long drawn-out affair.
Well, there were some, Nolan, though, who felt that they had only gotten, this was an 800-page report that they got on this from the commission. They only got it 2 days before they were asked to act on it, and that was a little hastier than maybe it should have been.
Except, I mean, the offenses were clear. Wanted to drag more people up front to show perhaps that there was a cover-up by the House leadership. I think it was more likely your typical bungling by the leadership.
I would like to know, as a constituent, you always want to know, were there other people involved in covering this up? How early did they know about an affair between the two of them, and who did or didn't say something?
Just to add to the point
Sure.
that I think Nolan talked about, I served in my career with 457 different legislators over a 14-year period of time, and by far 99% of those people are people that communities elected because they liked them, because they were competent, because they were experienced, et cetera, et cetera. And what really is bad about this is that two people who were in office 3 months before this affair began, not even 3 months, are now the face of this legislative body. And it's not their fault, because these people, for the most part, for their communities, raised their hand and said, send me up there because I want to try and do something. I want to represent this community. I want to work hard. And by and large, most of the people up there are doing the best that they can.
Your suggestion seems to be that them resigning early on in this would have been maybe in better interest of the institution.
Absolutely. And these people, I'm not going to get on them for these people. I'm not going to get on them for their personal beliefs and those kinds of things. But they stood up on soapboxes talking about how things should be done quite a bit before they ever got there. And once they got there, they fell off those soapboxes pretty fast.
Topic here, which was noteworthy, in that we've had a number of people say, well, they're willing to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning to kick 2 people out. We haven't seen that kind of dedication and intense thought on the roads. But Nolan, you wrote a piece this past week. You think that there's finally been a little bit of a break through the logjam?
Well, there has. I mean, the leader have agreed to give bipartisan support to a road deal that increases revenue by roughly $800 million and then diverts $400 million in current spending to road work. And it's worth noting there's already $400 million in current spending being diverted to road work. A deal they're able to get to. The hope is that if it gets bipartisan support in the Senate, which we haven't seen this session at least, and goes to the House, it'll put some pressure on the leaders there, on Cotter, to do the same. Where it could jam up and where it's still iffy is if they start trying to attach a whole lot of Christmas bulbs to it.
And nothing about the process convinced me that they can move forward any other issue.
Except there is an urgency here on the Republican side. They know that this is a loser issue for them going into House elections next year. There is some incentive to get it fixed in ahead of the ballot proposal that would tax business.
I got to get to a break.